All right, greetings, Hotep, Agwaba, bless up. Again, welcome back to the Recovery Room of Racism Non-Anonymous with me, Sisabana, the recovering African who is enslaved in America, and who is a representative from the voices and the margins. I am also true to the cause of African liberation via unification and utilizing the tool of healthy and effective communications. So someone created an account to speak to me and share some of their thoughts with me and to ask me a question. And the question they asked me was, quote unquote, why the hostility? Well, I like to respond to that and say that, again, first and foremost, thank you to this person who calls themselves imaniefi. Thank you for the question because it does provide me with a foundation and a vehicle of support to come forward and keep it moving, to build on my purpose for why I do what I do and why I am doing what I am doing now. I had an opportunity, because of your question, also to kind of look back and begin to just review some of the videos. I looked at the list of Umar's videos, and it really it's like, okay, there it is for me. Whenever we can comfortably label each other in any way other than what we all share in common. Let me say that again. Anytime we can refer to another African descendant as anything other than that which we share unequivocally, and that thing that we share is being victims of racism. We are all victims. So there's no need for me to refer to you as a Negro, no need for me to refer to you as a bootlicker, no need for me to refer to you as an Uncle Tom or Aunt Jane, no need for me to refer to you as stupid or idiotic or anything, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but especially when we are referring to traits and behaviors that we want to see change, so that is considered negative, other than being a victim of racism. See, when I can label you as whatever, then I can stand separate and apart from you and then profess and propose to tell you what you need to do to change you. And of course, I'm okay because I'm not that. Yet you are a victim of racism just like I am. How does that shit show up in your life? And what are you doing to correct it? And how do you do it? And, what did you use? And how did you get it? Because the things that you are telling me that I need to do and the things that you are telling me is wrong with me. And yes, it's accurate. Thanks for, no shit, Sherlock, kind of like, and this is not now specific to Umar necessarily. It's what we seem to do, people victims of racism, when I look, see, and hear us in action, up to and including myself, you see, because I have announced every time I check in that I have my shit with me. I'm a recovering African. I'm a victim. And maybe as this program grows and progresses, I will work to integrate into, maybe that's what the program of racism, it was more appropriate, and maybe all of you can maybe identify with that as opposed to, identify with being enslaved in America and or being a recovering African enslaved. You can identify, I am Abana and I am a victim of racist white supreme lunacy. And I'm here and I need some help. And this is the place to get it, in the Recovery Room of Racism Non-Anonymous. Now, because we practice this behavior of standing separate and apart from each other, and then making assessments, judgments, and giving direction and instruction to each other. And because we are not checking our own stuff, our own viral infection, European way of thinking and behaving, because that's what Europeans did to us. Of course, they came to us and stood separate and apart and presented themselves as okay, and we were the ones in need of help. And so the story went for all of us victims of racism. And just that in of itself as an act of injustice is enough for me to become very hostile, if you will, feel angry about that, because for me it represents an act of injustice. As if, who are you to stand separate and apart? And again, this is a pattern of behavior that African descendants engage in, and which I find problematic, and it is very personal as well, because I've had personal experiences and dealings with particular people. So, it's very personal because I'm an African descendant, and I'm looking for the African, a rebirth of the African nation, a repairing, first and foremost, reparations, healing, repairing. I am a healer. That's what I do. And it's not cool to experience yourself as being ignored. It's like, what the hell you want me to say? What do you want me to do? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And so, and hostile, yes. Do you seem quite hostile? You darn skippy, I'm hostile. Look at what's happening. And to give us more of the same is a problem. And that's what I've been working to say to the Umars. So that would be the members of the conscious community who, currently members of the quote-unquote African conscious community, Pan-African, Pan-nationalist, but not just that community, see. Not just that community for me, and that is in terms of what adds to the more personal impact of when I hear it anywhere, because it's not been just the conscious community that I have worked to forward and teach and share the things that I have come to know. It has been also the professional community, and this person, Imani, may be really a member of that community, and you may even have been a member of that community who also behaved towards me in a very unjust fashion that is straight up consistent with European thinking and behaving. So you could be that person too, because I have attempted and experienced the same thing for the same reasons. Standing separate and apart in a position of superior authority. Because I can fuck over you, I will. And because I have the supports, then I'm going to do it just because I can. It's that type of behavior. It's like, so, that's what it is. On the communal and societal level, lived experiences, this is a pattern of behavior that I witnessed and that I've experienced personally, and that is a major affront for me and what I see to the African collective and community. So again, like I said, thanks for asking the questions, and thanks for listening to me share. And it is quite offensive that you would, Imani, sign in, like I said, to come right at me, creating an account today, and to be so disrespectful and disregard who I say I am, and you determine who I am going to be to the world. And that was directly counter to who I said I was. So it's like, it's that type of behavior and thinking, whatever prompted, whatever thought you had that said, okay, well, this is the name I'm going to put out there. I'll put her slave name out there. So you can call me a slave, but you're not, right? So at any rate, you know. Thanks for listening to me share.
Do you expect me to turn the other cheek, taste my tears and admit defeat? Do you expect me to listen when you speak? You never ever practice what you preach.